There are lots of the disturbing things and details you missed out on when you were watching The Amazing World of Gumball. No doubt, the series had lots of ridiculous characters, several bright colors, and lots of chaotic comedy that all kept us wanting some more. But the truth is, the deeper you get to look at things in Elmore, the stranger it gets. There are several hidden details that came as comedy, as background details and creepy details that you may have overlooked. These are the creepiest background details, hidden in the amazing world of Gumball.
What is going on here? This place looks like a gas station restroom under UV light.
I know what happened. The kid who used to clean off the tags hasn't come for a while.
The forest creatures watching Darwin. In Season 1 of Episode 20 of The Picnic, we all noticed the earliest creepy moments in the series. In this episode, Darwin and Gumball got lost in the Forest of Doom during a family picnic. At the initial phase, the forest seems to be only weird. But as time went on, every detail in the background became complicated. All through the episode, these monstrous nightmare predators inhabited the deeper side of the woods. One of the creepiest was the living tree, who went on to change expressions for every time Darwin looks its way. The moment Gumball fell down the cliff into the ravine, he was immediately cornered by 3 Forest Doom monsters. These were the same monsters in the earlier episode of Rapid Fire Food Chain. But each time Darwin faces the tree, it almost acts normal, immediately making it look like an illusion for Gumball. The very moment he turns his face around, it goes back to that hostile and aggressive creature once again. That scene happened almost immediately, that you might lose sight of it if you didn't pay attention 100%. But the moment you notice it, it is almost impossible to wave it off that the forest is not dangerous. But despite how terrifying it all seems, the episode remains calm, like there was nothing more to the forest.
Gumball, please don't eat it.
It's him or us, dude. We gotta eat something.
Look at him. He's so cute.
The empty eyes during reality breaks. There were several notable episodes that captured something weird whenever there's a breaking apart in reality. From Season 3, Episode 12, and Season 6, Episode 34 of The Void and the Future, something interesting was quite occurring. Characters often get this occasional freeze, and sometimes they smile unnaturally. It didn't stop there. During The Void and the Future, it became so noticeable. In the Void episode, there were several forgotten objects and some other discarded elements that came all together in a broken dimension. But a quick observation reveals that several background objects appeared motionless and damaged. Some of these objects just lie idle into space, while others barely react to the things happening around them. Meanwhile, in the Future episode, it became a little clearer as Rob became obsessed with trying to stop an unknown disaster. Each time a character became either boring or useless, the world almost rendered them obsolete, making them soulless. During several scenes, some background characters went on to behave strangely calm, despite being surrounded by chaos. Their emotions almost always feel disconnected from the reality around them. And as time went on, it revealed the deepest secret of Elmore as being an unstable metaverse.
Hippopotamus milk is pink.
You're gonna take this, and you're gonna paint what happens next. Otherwise, that face of yours won't be so appealing.
Carrie's Underworld references. If there's anyone from the amazing world of the Gumball series who stands out as a dark character, it's no doubt Carrie Kruger. There are several background lore that became even stranger as the series progressed. In multiple episodes like Halloween, The Scam, The Mirror, and The Ghouls, off Season 2, 3, 4, and 6, there was a recurring theme that made reference to an actual underworld that is connected to the existence of Carrie's. The series conveniently mentions some horrifying creatures who are somewhat tied to where Carrie's is from. It made mention of demonic beings, cursed books, skull spirits, undead monsters, and giant worms. Fast forward to The Scam in Season 4, we observed this demonic creature that was named Gargaroth that was summoned into Elmore. The question is, from where? And in The Ghouls from Season 6, there were several monsters that emerged during the Halloween event. On the other side, despite these creatures coming out of nowhere to them, they absolutely reacted numb to it. If there was one thing the series did perfectly well, it was hiding several disturbing supernatural lore behind both comedy and chaos.
Why are you doing this? Is it really food you seek? Perhaps the emptiness isn't in your stomach.
The Void and the Forgotten Things. right in Season 3, Episode 12 of The Void. It's no doubt the concept is one of the creepiest things to be brought into the series. This episode went on to reveal the things that were not destroyed, but totally forgotten that they existed earlier in Elmore. Not only were they abandoned characters right here in The Void, there were also erased mistakes that were introduced to the series, which you didn't even notice in the onset. While Molly and Rob stood out as one of the few characters that got sent to the Void, some background details were also sent to the Void. The original 8-bit dog from Season 1 with its glitchy animation could be seen floating in the Void. The glitchy dog character was the one that roamed Elmore in earlier episodes. Surprisingly, the old Elmore shopping mall was also moved to the Void after the color upgrade from Season 2. Also, Mr. Small iconic purple hippie van that debuted right inside this very cosmic junkyard was another element found its way to the Void. The Void has served as that one garbage for the series, while on the other hand, the Void stands as a universe on its own.
I'm guessing librarian, flower t-shirt. Yeah, and thick prescription glasses. Huh?
Here she is, kids! Meet Janice!
The smiling faces in the background crowds. If there's one thing the amazing world of Gumball hides so well, is the hidden disturbing faces that are strategically placed in the background. These moments usually happen so fast that viewers might often miss it immediately without even realizing. The Gumball series is quite good at using smiling faces during crowd sequences, where background characters hold expressions for a longer duration than the normal animation timing would do. Such an occurrence was recorded in Season 3, Episode 4 of The Joy, when background characters became so joyful that it gave a similar outcome as that of the famous Walking Dead. When the virus of toxic happiness spreads through Elmore Junior High, it infects the students and faculty one by one. If you take a very close look at the background hallway scenes, you will spot students standing completely frozen with vacant eyes and hyper-wide, unchanging grins staring into nothingness. Even during the intense chase scenes where Miss Simeon is running for her life, these infected characters don't just chase her normally, they emerge from the dark background doors with that identical, unblinking smile. The animators intentionally left these characters completely stiff in the background to build up a genuine sense of claustrophobia and dread. It subverts the idea of a happy smile into something completely monstrous, making you realize that a simple background crowd can instantly turn into a wall of nightmares.
Ow! What the? Ow!
I'm sorry, but it's your own fault. You're so multicolored, I thought you were one of them.
Gumballers, the time has come to make attendance. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, do so now. Don't forget to like and share the video.
Yes! You gotta be kidding me.
The shifting environment of the Watterson house. In Season 4, Episode 9 of The Hug, and multiple other instances throughout the mid-seasons, there is something deeply unsettling about the home of the Watterson family. At a first glance, the house appears to be a completely normal suburban home located in Elmore. But when you begin to study the background across consecutive scenes, the layout completely breaks down. During several arguments in the living room, doors in the background will suddenly lead to entirely different hallways that shouldn't logically exist there. Windows will appear on walls that are supposed to be connected to interior rooms, showing a clear view of the outside yard through solid walls. Even the placement of the kitchen relative to the stairs changes completely depending on how fast a character needs to run out of a scene. This isn't just a simple, lazy animation error. The writers explicitly reference that the house has a mind of its own in later episodes. It gives you this constant, underlying feeling that the family is living inside a shifting, living maze that alters itself when they aren't looking. The background walls are constantly sliding and re-rendering to fit the narrative chaos of the moment, proving that even the most comforting setting in the show is physically unstable.
Just keep going. Just keep going. What? No! Arms! Get down!
No, his arms! They're triggering mine!
The realistic human teeth inside cartoon mouths. If there is one design detail that consistently brings a wave of discomfort, it's the show's habit of inserting hyper-realistic elements into basic cartoon designs. We see this clearly in Season 2, Episode 12 of The Banana, and Season 3, Episode 28 of The Spoiler. Whenever a character like Gumball or Darwin gets pushed to an absolute extreme emotion of panic, anger, or disgust, Their basic cartoon mouths open wide to reveal highly detailed, realistic human teeth and gums. Instead of the standard white blocks used in traditional animation, these background mouth details feature realistic shading, yellow stains, and individually defined teeth. The contrast between a flat blue cartoon cat and a highly rendered mouth that looks like a real medical photograph is incredibly jarring. What makes it even creepier is how these realistic teeth sometimes appear on background characters who don't even have a speaking role, just gaping open in the background of a chaotic scene. It forces the viewer to confront the weird physical reality of these creatures, reminding us that under their cute, stylized exterior lies something deeply unnatural and fleshy. The series uses this visual shock to break the comfortable illusion of the cartoon world, leaving a lasting impression of body horror disguised as a quick gag.
Oh no! Not with the elbow!
Hey! Pull one of my teeth out! Whoa. That's completely over the top, isn't it?
The live-action eyes of the background characters. Another major reality-bending detail involves the design of specific background citizens who populate the city of Elmore. In Season 1, Episode 36 of The Date, and throughout the background of scenes in the Elmore shopping mall, you can spot characters with completely realistic, photographic human eyes pasted onto cartoon bodies. A prime example is Susan, the small pink cloud character who works at the grocery store, or the various sentient food items walking down the street. While their bodies are simple drawings or 3D models, their eyes are actual video loops of real human eyes blinking and looking around. When these characters are standing idle in the background of a crowded room, their real human eyes will track Gumball and Darwin with perfect accuracy. It creates an incredibly eerie, uncanny valley effect, where the background elements feel like they are actively watching the main characters from outside the cartoon dimension. The absolute stillness of their bodies contrasted with the wet, blinking, organic motion of real human eyes makes the background of Elmore feel like a live specimen under a microscope. You realize that the world isn't just filled with wacky cartoons, but with strange hybrid entities that possess fragments of actual human biology.
Do you want to come to my house? It's Mr. Cuddle's funeral. I could use some support from a friend. Gumball, are you even listening?
This Saturday, 4 p.m. It's a date.
The stationary surveillance cameras tracking everyone. If you pay very close attention to the city streets and the school hallways, Elmore is under an extreme amount of surveillance that is never directly spoken about by the main cast. From Season 2, Episode 31 of The Car, all the way to the later seasons, small gray security cameras can be seen tucked away in the upper corners of almost every single background set. Whether the kids are at the local gas station, hanging out in the school basement, or walking through the park, these small lenses are always present in the far background. What makes them deeply creepy is that they don't just sit still like normal security equipment. They subtly pivot and follow the characters as they move across the frame. The characters themselves completely ignore them, treating the constant surveillance as a natural part of their environment. This background detail perfectly foreshadows the darker corporate and government themes that emerge in the final seasons, implying that Elmore is constantly being monitored by an unseen authority. Every chaotic event, every supernatural anomaly, and every single mistake made by the Wattersons is being recorded by someone hidden behind the screen. It shifts the show from a lighthearted comedy into a dystopian experiment, where the background elements are constantly reminding us that the characters have absolutely no true privacy.
How does she do that? And if she can do that, why does she need the money to fix the car?
Just shut it and drive!
The recurring static anomalies on background electronics, the absolute creepiest background detail that completely alters the meaning of the entire series, involves the televisions and electronic screens scattered throughout Elmore. In Season 4, Episode 24 of The Signal, and quietly hidden in the background of Season 5, Episode 26 of The Slides, electronics behave in a very sinister manner. Whenever Gumball and Darwin walk past a television set in a store window or a computer screen in the school library, the screen will briefly flash with a specific pattern of white static. If you pause the frame during these quick flashes, the static isn't random. It forms the vague, distorted silhouette of the Void, or the jagged, pixelated face of Rob. These static anomalies happen entirely in the background, while the main characters are busy arguing or joking in the foreground, completely unaware that their world is glitching out around them. It serves as a constant, haunting reminder that the digital fabric of their reality is decaying from the inside out. The void isn't just a distant, isolated dimension that they accidentally visited once. It is actively bleeding into their everyday lives through the background technology. The televisions are literally watching them back, broadcasting the visual noise of the erasure that is slowly creeping to claim the entire city. It turns every single electronic device in the background into a countdown clock, showing that no matter how bright and happy Elmore seems, the digital executioner is always waiting in the static.
Because when you cry, I cry. May we never let this happen again. Your best buddy, Gumball. Yeah, not sure.
What's that?
The next time you decide to rewatch your favorite episodes of Gumball, make sure to keep your eyes locked on the corners of the screen. You might just find that Elmore is a lot more dangerous, unstable, and terrifying than you ever could have imagined. Let me know in the comment section below. When was the first time you watched your first episode of Tamog? What episode was it? Don't forget to like and share this video with your friends.